Hey, this is Dave Gardner from MagneticSponsors.com again, and I have another unannounced bonus here with some extra tips that are going to add on. Once you go through the 5 steps of the targeted viewer report, again, you make sure you go through all those steps. You got your website up, you got your autoresponder up, you're starting to drive traffic. The thing is really the traffic and the content part that I want to focus on today. Now, I did not get in depth of that in the report because I wanted the report to be as generic as possible so that anyone could do it. Not to say that you should be generic, but you want to be, you want to be very specific actually when you get towards building and driving traffic, because you want that to be targeted. That's the whole point. You saw the bullseye maybe throughout the report and throughout the backside of the website and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're actually driving traffic to something that's very specific. So I just kind of put together, I have a little list here that I want to go through some of the key things that I do when I'm writing a blog post or when I'm doing a YouTube video or if I'm on Facebook trying to generate some traffic. And these are some really key tips. I don't know if they're ninja tricks or, maybe some people might say they are, but really it's just basic things that you should do and that are relatively easy to do. And that if you're especially just starting out in online marketing or trying to build a list, these are things you can implement, today. This isn't something that's going to take, and has a really big learning curve. I can just show you and, just tell you right now, and you should be able to figure it out because it's not too easy. As you go through each of the softwares, it's pretty much plug and play when you're using something like a blog or YouTube or Facebook ads, because you just click the button or you click on a drop down or see a tab and it tells you what actually you're supposed to look for. So I'm not going to go too much in depth of that. If you do have questions, again, you can always contact me at DaveGardner@MagneticSponsors.com, and I'll always be glad to maybe shoot you a video and go a little more in depth. But I just want to give the basics right here, because the basics are really what are getting you moving and really taking action. Even it's this, like I wrote in the report, it's not about what you do every, or what you're doing day to day, but it's those small little things that you actually do daily. Like, do you do a blog post daily? Do you do a video daily? Do you communicate and engage with people on Facebook daily? So one of the key things is that you do want to build your own list, even though you might have people on YouTube and people on Facebook following you. That was one of the big things I mentioned in the report as well, is that they do not really belong to you in the sense that they are your list. They actually belong to, YouTube, which is Google, or they belong to Facebook. So I'm just going to go through some of these things here. And the first one is the software that, again, my audio is on. It's called Audello. And if you are thinking about people with digital devices and listening to music and podcasts or just audio anywhere, it is huge. People are buying iPhones and smartphones left and right. And if you think that, your audio isn't important, you're kind of crazy, because people are always searching for things. And if you have a different medium for people to listen to and learn from, that's going to boost you up, more on the value aspect than someone who maybe just writes a topic or, writes a blog post or puts out a PDF. So that's why I kind of threw that in as an extra bonus, because I wanted that extra value to be able to deliver for you guys. Now, you may have heard the expression, under promise and over deliver. You always want to give a little bit more than what's been a promise in the beginning to help people out. So people are always like, hey man, that's pretty cool that he did that. So, using Audello, and if you went and watched through, I think it's about minute 13 and about 45 seconds in, if not, refresh the page, click the play button again, and you can even almost fast forward them just by clicking until you get to about minute 13, and then watch from 13 to 14. You'll see a really, really cool feature that's going to help spread your content. Now, I have it set up going to a page with the GVO autoresponder and pure leverage, but you can also have it as a drop-down box. At that same point, I could have had a drop-down box to actually opt into my website. Now, if you go to my blog at thedavidgardner.com, you'll actually see some of those in action. I think if you look at the ones for Audello, there's another one on there. I forget off the top of my head, but I have a few of them, and I'm going to continue to use them as one of my main daily things that I do when I blog, because it's such a cool and easy feature, and it uploads quick, and I can instantly add it to my blog through their plugin. The next thing I have is adding keywords and tags. Whether you're blogging, whether you're on YouTube, you want to use keywords that are associated with your niche. Now, if you're talking about dogs, you wouldn't necessarily talk about, coal mufflers and, like different grocery stores or stuff like that in your posts. you might want to talk, as far as a keyword and the tags that you write in there, you want to talk about things that are related to dogs, like fur all over the place, hair on my sweater, dog bones, dog bowl, dog dish, walking in the park with your dog, playing catch with your dog, the dog protects the house, things like that, or beware of dog maybe. So you want to always be very specific to your niche, and you always want to make sure that within the body of your report or the body of your actual blog post, as well as the actual META, there's sections for meta keywords and meta descriptions. You want to make sure you add those in there as well. It's basically called SEO, or search engine optimization. So make sure you have that included as well when you're going through and adding stuff up on your websites and your blogs. If you're doing a YouTube post, make sure some of those rich keywords are in the actual title of your video, and actually save the video file as the keyword. So, you could put dog drinking out of a bowl or dog chasing cat, and then it would automatically be populated by YouTube as dog drinking out of a bowl or dog chasing cat. And then, of course, you'd put it in your tags and you'd put it in the description. So the more places you have it, the better off the search engines are actually going to find it and register it and then recognize, so that when someone else goes and looks for, a dog bowl, you're going to be one that comes up, because number one, you have it as far as typed content. Number two, you have it as a blog post. Number three, maybe you have it as keywords. Number four, you have it as tags. So there's all these places that kind of build up and add up together to provide, the whole analytics of and algorithms of how places and, the bots like Google kind of, really throw out traffic to give you either a higher ranking or, maybe to bring you on the 10th page where no one ever sees you. So those are some good ones right there. One of the other key things is always having a call to action. If you're on your blog or if you're on YouTube, make sure if you're on YouTube you have a link to the blog post. I will often upload a video. I'll title the video the same as the title on my blog post, and then I'll actually put a link to the blog post in my YouTube video, and I have it as a call to action so people can come back to the blog. Once they're on the blog, then I'm going to have a call to action where they can sign up for my newsletter. You always want to be able to have a call to action where you can tell people what to do. Otherwise, they're just going to come and then they're going to leave. But if you tell them exactly what to do, then they're actually going to go through and do it. So for example, during the Audello software and part of this page, I told you to go through and click on and sign up and register for that free trial of the Pure Leverage Instant Income System. You got to have those tools. And if you want to be able to do the same thing to capture leads, you have to have an autoresponder. So if you haven't done that yet, make sure you find that link about signing up for GVO and Pure Leverage with their Instant Income System. It's a free trial. You get it for 7 days. You get all the tools that are included that are going to help you build that list. For example, again, the autoresponder, your webinar conference room. You're going to actually have the blog itself that's hosted so that you can actually put content and write about whatever you want. Maybe you're writing about dogs, and then you're actually having them opt into that page right there. So again, there's a lot of stuff there that you need to do, but it's going to be simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You can keep it simple. One of the other things, if you do want to go into Facebook, the last one that I have here, and we'll keep it with this, try to keep it under 10 minutes. One of the last things that I have with Facebook is that make sure if you're going to do Facebook ads, you can highly target them, and you can find out what people like. You can even at the top bar, there's usually a search bar, and you can just type in the phrase people who like blank, and then type in dog bowls or dogs, and you'll get a whole series of people that come up, and then you can start engaging with them. Talk to them and say, hey, I just found out you got a dog. Maybe you have a dog blog, and say, hey, I got a dog blog, and I'm looking for a guest blog promoter. I'm looking for people to submit pictures of their blogs or funny stories of their blogs, so that not only are you building content, but you're not doing the work. Okay, they're going to do the work, and it's going to be very minimal for you to take their report and maybe just copy and paste and actually put it in there, and then you can get more people to maybe be guest bloggers. Then they'll share it on their blog. So you want to have the viral nature, which is one of those other rules in the report. You want to have a way to find and make things viral. So by engaging with people, it's going to show up on their Facebook page, and then other people are going to start to find out about it. So I hope you've enjoyed these extra tips to go a little bit more in depth. Again, I wanted to give you a little bit more than the basics and the generic stuff that I gave you in the report and in the audio, because I wouldn't want to leave you empty-handed being like, hey man, he didn't tell me how I actually did it, he just told me how to set it up. So hopefully you found some value out of this before you kind of try to rip me a new head. And if you need any other tips or strategies, again, I like to work with people who are just starting out. So for the most part, you might not have had any idea what was going on. So again, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, you can always email me at DaveGardner@MagneticSponsors.com. And I love to have you on my team working with GVO Pure Leverage and the Instant Income Systems. All right. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.